Guys, welcome to Intellect Skills. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss about HTML headings. So let's begin. So what are HTML headings? HTML headings helps in defining the hierarchy and the structure of the text on a web page. There are 6 levels of heading defined by HTML. And these 6 heading elements are H1, H2, H3, right up to H6. Now, H1 defines the most important heading tag, followed by H6 that defines the least important heading tag. So as you can see in the example below, we have defined the opening and closing H1 tag wrapped with some content. So now let's dive into our system to understand this better. So we have our HTML page structure ready. So if you haven't watched my video on HTML page structure, I highly recommend you to watch that prior this video. I'll leave a link in the description below. Now let's save this document. To save the document, we press Ctrl S and let's save the document as heading.html. It's highly recommended to save the document prior starting with your coding so that you don't lose on your work and time. Now moving to our HTML heading tags. So as you know, we have 6 heading tags defined by HTML. The first is H1, which has the most importance. Now to declare the H1 heading, we write the opening and closing H1 tag. So as you know, we use the / to close any tag. So now let's write some content within our HTML tag. So let's write, this is our H1 tag. Now let's proceed with the rest of the HTML tags. Now let's use the H2 tag. So we now follow the same process. Now let's write, this is our second heading tag. Okay, now let's quickly finish off with the rest of the tags. So now let's check the output on our browser. Okay, so as you can see, the H1 has the largest font size, followed with H6 that has the smallest font size. Also, by default, you can see that there are some spaces added in between each heading elements. This is called as margin and this is actually set by default. We can override this by using CSS that we will discuss in our future tutorials. Okay, now let's discuss about the importance of heading tags. Now heading tags make the page much more readable. This is done by dividing the web page with appropriate headers that make the page much more easier to read for both humans and bots. Search engines use headings for indexing the content of the web page. Google sees the text used within the HTML heading tags as more valuable or a high priority than the rest of the text on a web page. So it's highly recommended to use HTML headings for headings only and not to use them to make the font bigger or bold. So as you can see that the heading tag plays an important role for search engines to crawl content on your website. If you are not aware of search engines are basically softwares or websites designed to carry out our web searches. So we can also consider Google as a search engine. Now Google has its own set of crawlers or bot that crawl content on every website and saves it in their database. This is actually used for website ranking purposes. So Google sees the text used within the HTML heading tags as more valuable or high priority than the rest of the text on a web page. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we are going to discuss about paragraph, line breaks and horizontal rule tags. So if you like this video, hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon to receive a notification on all my latest videos. So stay tuned and keep learning.